Fix the cause, not just the effect. What if you're not failing, you're just fixing the wrong thing? What if effort alone can save you, unless it's aimed in the right direction? And what if your pain isn't here to break you, but to point you deeper? In a quiet village framed by golden fields and gentle hills, stood a humble school, the kind without air conditioning, without polished tiles, but with something far more valuable. A teacher who taught truth. His name was Prasad. He didn't just teach math and grammar, he taught life. His voice was calm, his eyes deep, and his lessons unforgettable. Among the many students who passed through his classroom, one in particular stood out that season. A boy named Kiran. Kiran was bright. At least, he used to be. Lately his energy had faded, his notebooks stayed blank longer. His laughter rarely showed up anymore. His grades were falling like autumn leaves, one test at a time. What made it worse wasn't the failure itself, it was the confusion. He was trying, really trying. He had cut back on playtime. He stayed up late. He followed every piece of advice adults threw at him. Wake up earlier, make a stricter schedule, work harder, maybe you're just not meant to be good at this. Each word felt like a brick on his back. He pushed forward anyway. But no matter how much he did, nothing changed. The pressure built. The self-doubt whispered. And still, Kiran kept pouring effort into something that never responded. One day, Prasad noticed his sunken posture, his distant eyes, the heaviness in his walk. He gently asked, "Kiran, can we talk for a moment?" The boy nodded. They sat beneath a tree just outside the classroom. The breeze was soft, but Kiran's thoughts were not. Then Prasad spoke, in the quiet tone of someone who doesn't just want to be heard, but understood. "Let me tell you a story," he said. "One that helped me when I thought effort alone could fix anything." He leaned in. In a village long ago, there was a deep well that provided water for everyone. One day, a dog accidentally fell into the well and died. The villagers didn't notice at first, but soon, the water started to stink. People got sick. The well, their lifeline, had become poisoned. Panicked, they ran to the village sage, a man known for wisdom deeper than the river that ran beside them. He listened calmly, then said, "Draw out 100 buckets of water. Fresh water will follow." They obeyed. 100 buckets. Gone. But the stench remained. They poured out 100 more. No change. A third 100. Still foul. Frustrated, they returned to the sage. "We did everything you said," they cried. He looked at them and asked, "Before you poured all those buckets, did you remove the dead dog from the well?" They paused. "No, you never told us to." The sage smiled. "Then the cause remains. You can't purify a poisoned well unless you remove the source of the rot." Kiran didn't speak. He didn't need to. His eyes widened, not from surprise, but from awakening. The story wasn't just about villagers. It was about him. He realized what he had been doing. He had poured out effort, discipline, hours, sacrifices, like the villagers drawing water. But all the while, the real cause was still there. His fear of failure, his shame from past mistakes, his constant need to prove himself to everyone else. These weren't just feelings. They were the dead dog in his well. That night, Kiran didn't go back to the same study routine. He didn't make a new to-do list. He did something braver. He sat quietly with himself. He asked hard questions. Why do I feel afraid when I fail? Why does one bad grade make me feel worthless? What am I actually trying to prove? And to whom? And in that stillness, he found something more valuable than any textbook: awareness. The next day he studied again. But this time, not to defend himself from doubt, but to learn because he loved learning. He gave himself room to stumble. He reconnected with his curiosity. He stopped pouring energy into appearances, and started healing what lay underneath. And slowly, not instantly, but meaningfully, things began to shift. Moral of the story: most people, when things go wrong, start pouring more water. They work harder, sleep less, push more, but they never stop to ask, what's at the bottom of my well? You can change your schedule, your habits, your surroundings, but if the cause remains, the result will too. Real change doesn't come from more effort, it comes from better direction. It comes from having the courage to remove the thing you've been afraid to look at. So the next time your life feels off, your energy low, your joy missing, don't just treat the symptoms. Ask yourself, what's the dead dog I haven't removed? Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is stop doing what doesn't work and start facing what really hurts. If this story moved you, maybe it's time to pause and reflect. Not on how hard you're trying, but why it isn't working. Sometimes, the fix isn't more. It's different, it's deeper, it's truer. And if this helped you see something differently, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispers Within, where every story isn't just told, it's felt. Someone you know might still be pouring 300 buckets into the wrong well. Send them this. You might just help them find the source. And always remember, when you fix the root, the surface heals itself.